Hello there, my name is Rachel. The first time you see my channel, I used to review cartoon series, anime series, so something completely random. Today we're going to talk about a new anime series that I'm a little bit late to talk about called Exception. Exception is one of those shows that Netflix really didn't promote that much. It's sort of barely just like a comment, a little small trailer, and that's it. It's for a reason, because the whole show is sort of kind of convoluted because it falls into science fiction, but the idea of your morality. Yeah, it's one of those shows that you have to sort of go into when not knowing what's going on, because you see the trailer doesn't really convince you to watch or tell you anything because there's so many things going on at once. It's sort of hard to dive in. In fact, it's sort of hard to even explain it. Put it this way, the whole story starts with 5 different crew members working up in a ship. In this ship, you have sort of specific job each one does. What happens if one of the members actually come out of the awakening? That you wake up because you're sort of a clone of the original, because you were chosen to do this job because you're the best, but this clone was sort of mutated. He's half animal, half human. Now you have to decide to actually kill this creature because it affects the mission. But interesting enough, each of the crew members, they are basically specialists of their own subject matter. Each scientist are basically a geneticist, an engineer, a chemist, a doctor, and the 5th, I think, is something else I can't remember on the top of my head. But each one are very intelligent, and at least try to understand the situation and not the situation, the answer of their own problems, because this guy is a very well-known friend in the group. But should we kill him off because he's dangerous? Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah, you should, because he's risking the crew members and the mission. But beloved, it's sort of question your morality. It's like, this is right. Even though he's a clone, he has chance to give right to live. But this clone doesn't have human emotion, human intelligence network, so it's more animal than human. Yeah, you should kill it. But interesting enough, this falls into the twist category of supernatural, not supernatural science fiction. That what if it actually can think? What if this hybrid actually can be more human than animal? Okay, we can save him, but you have to convince the other crew. Why not just kill him and remake the copy? Once again, we have the memories for that. But what if it's sort of that morality, like if the human race allows you to make your own choices of this ship to make the mission successful, you'll be okay doing it because you'll be forgiven killing this sort of clone. But once again, how you know if this clone is a good person, if even he is a human? Or even, yeah, kind of ask you this other question of the clone's memory. Are their own memory? Because they're not real human, but they are real human. And go this sort of devolve twist episode by episode, understanding what we should do with this a character, this half hybrid, half human, half animal. And that's the thing, it grabs you. It starts slow, I mean, it really does. The first 2 episodes, it's just like a slow burn, but because they're trying to explain or trying to argue what is the best decision. Yeah, I love that each decision they make is actually pretty smart. I mean, something that you watch a lot of horror films or the Alien franchise, to be specific, you know all of them are geniuses or warriors. And if they go close to a creature, what they're trying to do is observe it. But you know this creature is very dangerous. What you do, you observe it, but you take him down with some sort of shocking mechanism and lock it in a certain cage and observe it. You don't get close to it, but you observe it far away, because that's the logic. Sometimes in Aliens, they throw away a logic. Even the character is a very smart character, do the dumbest things, and that's the thing, people get pissed off. But this series does the opposite. It does the most smart, clever thing of each character does: analyze and execute, thinking this is the right way or the wrong way. And the whole group is all about that. This is the right decision or not. And they keep arguing episode by episode, proving this hybrid is human. But there's another twist. And that's the thing of the show does so well. It just sort of builds this intrigue, thinking this is good or this is morality. And that is so interesting, especially you have two twists. The first one is half hybrid, half alien. The second one, this was made on purpose. The mission is basically being basically a delay, trying to stop the mission, and the crew members don't understand. They find little pieces here and there that does not really make sense. Someone in this crew is a Judas, the person who portray the whole human race, because they actually have a good reason to. Basically, the whole mission is trying to terraform a new planet from Earth, because in the series they don't explain why Earth needed a new planet to live on, to move the human beings. The only nuggets information we have is basically saying, well, the sort of alien war we have, and this is what the alien left, so we sort of adopted it and reverse engineer it. This is the reason why they need this to do it. But some sort of war, it doesn't really go in depth. But the whole point of the mission is basically trying to take a new planet, look for it. This planet worked for us, we make it for ourselves. But there was another twist of the idea that what if there's still some sort of new life not yet born, and fall to the same idea what happened to the half human, half hybrid idea. Should we take advantage, take this a planet and get rid of all the creatures or not? But the creatures not yet fully evolved. They're still in the infant stage. And that's why it makes this so interesting, because all 5 scientists are keep arguing with logic till the whole series sort of breaks down on episode 6. If you've seen the series, you know what I mean. And this is the point. I don't know if this series was well executed or not because of morality. This all characters choose the decision of morality because they don't focus on developing characters. It's almost like if I put myself in the same position, if I do the same thing. Sort of like Saw. You don't know none of the character of the Harmony franchise. The only thing you care about is, do I do the same thing on their situation? Especially they give them a little motivation of each character. They don't have much personality. It's sort of this their execution, their problem, how they answer it in other words. And that's what makes this series so interesting. Of course, it's for everyone. No, it's that's the thing. If you like science fiction, if you like mystery type of shows, this will maybe entertain you, but at the same time I'm not sure this is well executed, because there are a lot of moments I was thinking the execution are correct and the motivations are interesting, but I feel there's some things I feel they didn't need to be there. One of the big examples, without any spoilers, think of it of Rick and Morty, the episode of Beth that loved herself, her doppelganger, that her sort of clone but not clone, but that's sort of kind of creepy, but it's sort of a metaphor of loving yourself. If you heard of that episode, that's very infamous. You think of that idea as the main villain, but doing that, twisting their motivation or the idea of that 2 clones as more the idea of loving your morals. And that's the best way to describe it. It's sort of messed up. It kind of makes sense, but at the same time, I don't think you needed it. Once more, I'm not spoiling anything because everything I explained, it doesn't really make sense till you actually see it, because this is sort of slow. It's the thing that will test you if you think it's sort of worth watching or not. My opinion, I did enjoy it. Of course, there's something I feel a little bit convoluted. Some characters decide to flip the other side, become a bad guy, if you understand their motivation or accept their motivation, even if they have a little bit. And that's the thing, it sort of breaks the deal watching this series. But very again, I did get entertained. I was fascinated. I wanted to know what happened next. Even I disagree, because once more, it sort of argues over your morality. Do you think this is right? Or you think the characters are stupid, you get frustrated and want to turn it off? I did once, maybe twice, but it's one of those, is sort of my morality. If I accepted that, I should do it, should not do it. It's one of those, it's a ride. It's one of those series where it comes once a year or once a decade type of situation, but once again, it's all about if this was executed correct. I cannot say it because I think it did. Some people disagree with me. Now I have that one question: how you felt about the whole series? Do you like it? Do you hate it? I think this is probably a mini series because I have the beginning and an end. So yeah, whatever happens, tell me down below. If you've seen it, tell me how you felt about it. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.